The Avengers have been disbanded, so who's gonna save the world now? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand, and then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This is a part of the all-new, all-different Marvel, and it takes place right after Secret Wars, when the real world comes back. Captain America flies straight up from the bay, throwing his shield up at a car as it comes careening over the side. It goes through the windshield and out the back window, shattering them both, and then he flies through the car, grabbing the entire family while his Falcon catches his shield. He then lands on the bridge and everyone gets pictures of the new Captain America in action. But that's when things get a little interesting for him, as the Girl Scouts come running over to him to try and get him to buy their cookies. One African American girl and one Caucasian girl. And everyone asks, which girl would this new Captain America buy from? Luckily, Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man, arrives and saves poor Captain America by providing a photo shoot and a ride out of the situation. They ride off and Tony explains what's going on. He is technically broke, at least in the sense of cash, so he can't fund the Avengers anymore, so he had to sell the Avengers Tower. Captain America realizes that this means that there aren't any true Avengers teams anymore, just Sunspot's team and the Unity Squad. At that moment, in a flash of light, the Warbringer teleports into the former Avengers Tower, with its new owner standing there. He claps for the flashy arrival, and explains that he is the Warbringer's ally against Nova. He also explains that the Warbringer isn't the first Chitauri that has tried to conquer Earth, and his ancestors left behind 3 artifacts that will assist him in conquering it. But that's when they stop, because Spider-Man's camouflage is worn off, and they can see him sticking to the wall up there. I just swung by to use the little boy's room. Is it free? He's thrown out the window and is slightly disoriented, but he still tries to use his webs to catch the falling rubble to prevent it from hitting the civilians. But he fails, he misses it! Luckily, just before a poor man dies, Captain America catches him and lifts him off the ground, and then Tony Stark picks up Spider-Man in his flying car. What did you just do to the building that used to be mine? I swear it wasn't me! There's a really big angry alien in there. Well, in that case, Tony drops Spider-Man and hits his secret button, turning his car into an Iron Man suit of armor. He crashes through another wall and he sees the alien. Hey, did someone lose a spider kid in here? But Warbringer begins to heat up, launching himself into an explosion of fire, dropping all 3 superheroes as they arrive. Vision arrives after the alien leaves and he takes Iron Man's armor off before it possibly melts into him, and the group decides that they need to chase this alien. Luckily, the alien didn't get too far because he went to a science center that was nearby and where one of the artifacts is being held. Miss Marvel then shows up telling the colorful alien to stop what he's doing, and he replies with a shot fired at her, and then he grabs the artifact. So Miss Marvel asks the alien, do you think that we can move our fight somewhere away from this very pretty building? And that's when Nova comes crashing through the window, slamming the alien and then plowing it through a few walls. Are you kidding me? Miss Marvel shouts. Nova and Warbringer bring their fight outside and they begin damaging the buildings in the city around them until eventually a whole building crumbles. Warbringer then leaves and goes to his next site for the next artifact, and Miss Marvel approaches Nova. You're a jerk! Everywhere you go, you destroy things! But luckily, their argument is interrupted by Iron Man flying by, Spider-Man riding on his back, and then Vision and Falcon coming through behind them, and they decide that all of them should team up against this alien. Warbringer brings the fight into the subways where our heroes leap in and they continue their fight with them, and that's when the mighty Thor joins the fight, throwing Mjolnir at the alien. He braces for impact, but that's when we see the man who summoned the alien has been following along the whole time, and he teleports Mjolnir behind the alien, saving the alien. Every superhero is in shock at what just happened, and that's when Warbringer leaps out of the subway as the hammer smashes the wall behind him and the subway tunnels begin to flood with water. Nova blacks out from the water, but luckily Thor grabs him and takes him with everyone into the streets away from the flooding tunnels. The team checks on each other and Iron Man makes the call. Let's go finish this. Meanwhile, the Warbringer has made it to a graveyard on Long Island where the final artifact rests, and he puts the entire thing together and a portal to the Chitauri homeworld opens up above New York. That's when the hidden man who's been assisting Warbringer vanishes, telling him that he has other plans. Thor arrives first, hitting the Warbringer with a mighty strike of lightning. And then Vision and Nova cross paths, hitting him again, and the rest of the team grabs the artifacts. But that's when the Warbringer throws Thor aside and then takes out Nova and begins to melt Vision. Iron Man looks up and realizes this is bad. They need a new plan. They're going to open the Chitauri portal. His plan is simple: combine the artifacts, finishing the portal, and then destroy the completed artifact after they throw the Warbringer through it. Of course, it'll need to be Spider-Man, as he has the proportional speed of a spider. So, Thor grabs grabs the Warbringer by the wrist and begins to pull him to the portal as the dead all around them begin to rise from their graves. The ghosts are trying to take the artifacts from Spider-Man while Captain America and Miss Marvel fight them back. But just as Thor throws the Warbringer towards the portal, the Warbringer retaliates by knocking Thor aside. But luckily, Nova comes rocketing in to save the day. "Nova!" he shouts. "I will defeat you!" "Fat chance!" he screams back as he catapults the Warbringer towards the portal. Then, with perfect timing, Spider-Man puts the artifact together, allowing Nova to throw the Warbringer through the portal, immediately followed by Spider-Man shattering the artifact, with Nova timing his exit perfectly. That's it. They did it. They've saved the day. Iron Man looks at all of the individuals in front of him, his new team, and he tells them, "You know, Cap said something earlier that got me thinking. There isn't a current Avengers team. There isn't any funding or equipment, and at any moment, Ultron or Kang could come back to kill us. But would any of you be interested in joining the Avengers?" And everyone raises their hands. It looks like we have a new Avengers team. This is basically the new origin of the Avengers, but if you're new to Marvel, you may be wondering, why is Thor a woman, why Falcon is Captain America, and why is Spider-Man in a black suit again? This is the new lineup for all new, all different Marvel. If you want to find out more about their individual stories and how they took the roles that they are taking over right now, I'll link all of the videos down below, because we do have the origin of when Falcon became Captain America, who the actual female Thor is, and we even have information on Miles Morales' Spider-Man. Those are the biggest change-ups in this team, so you may want to learn more about them. I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and I'll see you next time right here.